What was the toughest time in this journey?
The toughest time was actually a pretty long period of time. It was a couple years. I'd say probably, gosh, I don't even know what years it was. 2012 to 2014-ish, somewhere in there. I'm not great with dates. But for a couple years, I struggled so much with bullying. I wanted to quit every single day. It really turned me from, I'm literally from a farm in Kansas, and I'm so Midwestern. I love to talk to strangers. I'm like, I'll tell you my life story.
A farm
in,
in Kansas.
Yeah, I'm like, in 10 seconds, I'm like, let's be best friends. Like, that's how I operate. And I was so upset. I was like totally closed off. I didn't want to go to, conferences anymore.
Tell us a little. What happened on the bullying?
Well, so it's interesting. It's what we do to any public figure. I mean, and bloggers get a lot of it too. I don't really understand it, but I mean, there's people that just live to torment people online. And we're not talking like, I don't like your outfit, because that comes with the territory. We're talking like people harassing like family members that I don't even talk to. And I'm like, how did they even know that I'm related to them? Like, completely made up rumors, like personal rumors that had, I mean, literally no truth. People just make stuff up. Rumors about business practices, or, I mean, just everything under the sun. Not at all fair play. We're not talking, I don't like your outfit, because again, that's
right.
Totally normal.
So being attacked online.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And on like a daily basis, which, I mean, it was just horrible, because I'm a very strong, independent woman in some ways, but I'm also a people pleaser, because I love people. I'm very, like I said, I'm open. I'm like super outgoing. Like, I love to host parties all the time at our house. Like, I joke that I want to know every person on the planet before I die. Like, that's my personality. So it was really, really hard to just feel like, what in the world am I doing to these people? Because it's so weird. If you don't like it, don't read it.
Right.
I'm not Taylor Swift, where she's in your face every 10 seconds, whether you want her or not, because she's on commercials and stuff, you know?
You have to come over
you
to
have
my
to come
page.
to my page to read what I'm saying. So if it angers you that much, then don't read it. It's very strange to feel like I'm just putting myself out there, and why would this be the response?
It's so interesting, because Jameson Gavin, we did an interview with him. He was with us with Premium Trash, and I asked him, if you were going to give advice to your younger self, what would you say? And he said, get ready. When you succeed, they'll attack you. And I was just staring at him, because this guy is so mellow, and he's so young.
And he does trash.
Premium Trash. And he said,
but someone attacks that. That's what I'm saying.
So how did you went through it, it was happening. What was the change for you? How'd you get through it, or what'd you?
Well, I got through it out of pure stubbornness, because I refused to quit for that reason.
Yes.
So I thought, I'll quit someday, but I'm not quitting for this reason. Whether it, it's killing me. I'm, horribly depressed. It's horrible, but I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to let them win, basically.
Yeah.
So, it was stubbornness, and it was a whole lot of faith, absolutely, a lot of prayer. And, I would just, to get a little spiritual for a moment, I would just cry and be like, God, please take this away from me. And he would I felt like he would always say, absolutely not. You have to learn how to deal with this. Like some mean parent. And I would be like, slam my door. Well, forget you, because that's mean. And, I don't know. But because it is true. There's nothing I can do to change it. I just had to learn how to deal with it.
Right.
And I also, it's an internal thing, but I also had to take steps. And that's really important to getting bullies off of you, because I had never experienced bullying in my life, which is also why I was so sensitive to it. I mean,
so
nothing.
What are the steps you take when you
put
get
up boundaries?
Bullying?
You put up boundaries, and they look different for everyone. But for me, it was adding comment moderation to my blog.
Yeah.
It was
if you're
much
saying
harder.
Crap, you're not
absolutely.
Your stuff isn't going to get shown.
Because actually, you know what people were doing? They were logging in and commenting and acting like there were a bunch of different people having a conversation. So someone would make up a story. I saw Jay hitting a child, and then someone would be like, oh, I was there too. And then a third person, but it was all the same person. And I wouldn't realize that until later, because I actually figured out how you can figure that out, like, behind the scenes. And so it's like that kind of stupid stuff, like has nothing to do with fashion. Literally,
Right.
it has nothing to do with it. I'm not, over here moderating comments that are like, that's an ugly outfit, because that's on point.
Right.
Share it. So it was, you absolutely have to do something to stand up to them, and you have to recognize that when that happens, it gets worse at first. I was cussed out. I mean, it was bad, because when you stand up to your bullies, they immediately tell you you're being weak by not publishing. It's like the exact opposite of what you're doing. You're standing up to them, but
Right.
they went into high drive, emailing me, commenting, and I just ignored, and then after a few months, it all went away. So there's still, a website. There's a website dedicated to hating bloggers, and every blogger has like their own forum. And mine's like, at least it used to be. I've literally not looked at it in like 3 years.
Yeah, it's
was
a
like
good idea.
no, I mean, why would I? It's like all completely made up stuff like that. But I'm sure that that's still active,
Yeah.
because people will occasionally email me and be like, "Did you know this exists?" And I'm like, "Yes," but I, happily oblivious to it.
Yeah.
But as far as my site goes, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it is the most amazing feeling, but it also is an internal thing, because I know when that does happen, because I'll still occasionally get the random slap in the face, weird comment, but I moderate, so then I don't publish it and it never gets seen, which is
Right.
amazing. But then people also don't know what I experience, because they never see it,
Yeah.
but I figure no one wants to read that. My readers don't want to see that nasty stuff on there. So, but I get the occasional, slap in the face, and it's been an internal growth of the way you respond to that.
Wow.
And I feel like I've been given, through prayer and things like that, a way to just immediately see the hurting person that's speaking to me. And instead of reacting with anger, you just react with, just softly, gently,
yeah.
a little bit of, and not in like a, like you're looking down on them at all,
Right,
because that's the
no.
wrong response too. But just understanding it, because I went through the same thing. So I had so many people bullying me that I had a hard time being nice to people around me too. I would snap at people. It was like I was a totally different person. So I usually just immediately assume that that's what they're hearing in their life all the time, and it just sucks. I just feel like I'm so sorry, and please don't talk to me like that. But I'm also not going to get mad about it anymore. So, yeah, it's been a pretty crazy journey for sure.